up, peeps, and welcome to another episode of the Project Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Project Commentary, and I am joined by a friend of the family, Miss Melody Monroe. Say hi to
I get a great title every time I come on here. I love this.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. She's fresh off a flight from Comic-Con.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nergasms.
Yeah, will there be a show about it? Will there be an episode talking about any of it? Or
I think I will talk about it.
Okay. I will look forward to that. Well, today's episode is entitled Reference or Preference. And this is actually based on a listener suggestion. They asked that I speak about colorism. And it's such a broad topic, such a heavy topic, that I decided I couldn't tackle it alone, so I asked Mel if she would join me, and she, of course, accepted. And we've had some good examples. I was
dragged into it, but yeah.
So
thank you.
That's where we're
Thank you, listener, whoever suggested this hard-ass topic. Thank you.
I know, right? This was going to be tough.
It's too hot for this.
Yeah.
Sick of this shit.
Yeah, we were actually talking before, trying to figure out what sick of this shit segment would be. And now we have a couple of good ones because this heat is definitely one of them. So in recent weeks, we've had a couple of instances of, would you call them colorism? Is that what do you think you call them that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got two examples to kind of base this off of, and then we're just going to kind of go from there. The first is Chris Brown. Now, you pulled up the lyrics to this song. What was the name of the song?
Do I have the name to this song?
Yeah, I didn't know the name either. I just
Nita
know
Stack.
Okay.
I think it's Nita. No, the album's Nita Stack.
No, it's Nita Stack. The album is like Vertigo or something. I'm not sure what the name.
Indigo or whatever.
Indigo.
Okay, so Indigo. I think it's Nita Stack then.
Yeah, Nita Stack. So in this song, Nita Stack, Chris Brown in the lyrics says that he only wants to fuck the pretty bitches or the black bitches with the nice hair. Am I quoting that right?
Yes, only want to fuck the black bitches with the nice hair.
Okay.
Yes.
And so he said that. And then today, Lil Duval actually took to Instagram. He stated that he did not like women that had the bushy hair. He preferred the straight look. He didn't really care for the bushy, wild hair. And of course,
I guess he won't like mine because that's what we're rocking right now.
Right. So, of course, in the comment section, that was instantly taken as he was saying he didn't like natural hair, which he attempted to defend. He said he didn't really care who it was, black, white, doesn't matter. He just didn't like big hair. He didn't like that look. He preferred straight.
That is stupid, but okay. Go ahead.
Hey, that was his thing. On that one, I felt like he realized he walked into a hornet's nest, and that was just trying to come up with some way to back out of it.
I mean, did you stretch before that reach? Because that was a horrible ass excuse.
Right, exactly. So, like I said, those two instances kind of play into this whole thing of colorism and what does it mean. So, if you're not familiar with it, colorism is the discrimination based on skin color that is known as colorism or shadeism. It seems to plague the black community the most. Would you agree with that?
I don't know because it does affect all minorities. I am aware of it in the Hispanic community.
Okay.
The more lighter skin, like they have more lighter Latinas and Latinos on like Telemundo, all that stuff, their news and everything. Mm-hmm. Also, I heard that it was like kind of like a colorist divide in Latin countries. Also, Asians, I believe the lighter is more prevalent. I can't say if it's more in the black community. I just know about it because I'm in the black community, but I am aware that it's hitting everybody.
Right. Well, I know that back in the day, and in particular when you talk about African Americans and colorism, it typically goes all the way back to the days of slavery, like most things in America, where the darker skinned slaves were they had to work in the fields and do hard labor, where the lighter skinned slaves oftentimes would get work in the house and wouldn't have to be subjected to such cruel and unusual punishment like the darker skinned slaves. And then once you fast forward and come out of slavery, the opportunities that were given to lighter skinned black people in this country versus the darker skin, there was an obvious divide there. There was even the brown paper bag test, where if you were any darker than a brown paper bag, you were not considered fit to be in certain circles. So this does have some historical basis, especially in the black community. And I guess for me, my question is now, once you fast forward and you bring it into 2019, and that's why I titled this episode Reference or Preference. Is the colorism now truly based on self-hate, or is it based on hating what you look like, or is it now a preference that was based on that reference?
That's where it gets tough, because you can have a preference. I prefer dark-skinned men. However, if I end up falling in love with a light-skinned man, hell, if I end up falling in love with a white man or Asian man or whatever, I don't care, because I love all men. I just prefer a dark-skinned man. Now, if I sat here and said I only date dark-skinned men because of A, B, C, and D, then I feel like that will be colorism. Some of the men I've dated, or who just had like a little crush on me or whatever, unfortunately, because I'm light skinned, I hear this a lot, that they love only light skinned women. And I finally had to ask, okay, now why? They say dark skinned women is all loud and ghetto and woo woo woo, and I'm like, that's not true, because especially in the black community, light skinned women have that crazy, myth or whatever. We're all crazy or whatever. So it's like
all women are crazy. No, we're not.
With this heat, everybody is crazy.
We're not going to put a color on it. All women are crazy.
Whatever. So y'all make us crazy. But anywho, that's another topic for another day. So when you put certain stipulations on it and stupid stereotypes on it, that's when it becomes colorism to me.
Okay.
Because like I said, you can have a preference, but then they want to use this whole thing. Well, certain women only want to date rich guys. Is that a preference? I mean, not like a colorism or whatever, but I guess maybe classism or something. I don't know. They try to compare apples to oranges. Like, it makes no sense.
Okay, so on this one, I may be playing devil's advocate this whole episode then, because
I can tell.
Well, here's the reason why. Because I look at it and I'm like, okay, you say, that women, some of them just want to date rich men, or some of them, they place their importance on physique, does he have muscles? Does he have tattoos? Like, all these things. I look at this and I honestly think that even if you take the racial elements out of it, even if you take the historical elements out of it in terms of slavery and all those things, and like when you point out that this is something that plagues other communities, like the Latino community or like the Indian community, because I have heard of it. When I say Indian, I mean not Native American, but India, that it is a thing there as well. And I mean, on this one, it actually even plagues white people, from what I can tell, because I've heard, different things about, redheads and, gingers and stuff like that, and, lighter skin or pale white people that can't tan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get treated a certain way too.
See, I've never really heard that.
Yeah,
so that's something I would have to look up, because I never heard anything like that. But
I feel like this one is really more of a people by design. We look at, whenever we look at other people, we look at how we're different, because that's the first thing we see. So when someone, like, if I'm walking down the street and someone sees me, the first thing they're going to see is that is a very large man. That guy is 6'7" or 6 foot something. I mean, I have people all the time thinking that I'm 7 foot tall, and I'm like, yeah, till you see a 7 foot tall person. Like, till you see that shit, I do look 7 foot tall, and then you put on the fact that I am a darker skinned black man and all these things. And the first thing people do is they go to their assumptions or whatever about these particular groups of people, or what a person like that is supposed to look like or supposed to act like. I don't know if any of that has so much to do with colorism, though, as it does just people's natural interactions with each other, is to figure out where they're different.
First of all, I don't know. I don't even know how this whole thing even started, first of all. But I do kind of see what you're saying with, just your interactions with different people. But it's like, you got to understand not everybody is like that. Like I said, because I'm light skinned, I automatically get the, oh, you must be crazy type deal. And you've known me for how long?
Man.
When have I really ever acted crazy? I'm monotone, if you can tell by listening to this podcast. You've been like this since like second grade, so yeah. Yeah, so If no one knows me, PC knows me, and this has been my demeanor all my freaking life.
Yeah.
So now if I do act crazy, you did it. You brought something out of me. And that's happened, but it's happened on rare occasions.
I could agree with that. You would be one of those people that if somebody was like, Mel, slap the shit out of them, like, what they do?
Yes, exactly. Like, I try not to even hurt a fly. So once you piss me off, that's like it. I'm off the handle. Or because I'm a Cancer. Oh, you're moody. You're automatically moody as hell. Or Geminis. You're automatically crazy as hell. I mean, I've done that. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I do think colorism is taught in a subtle way from growing up, just from, if we go back to the whole Chris Brown thing with the whole nice hair, when it should really, because some people try to defend it like, oh, he means nice hair, like you took care of your hair. But we know, we're not dumb, so stop playing dumb. We already know the connotation behind that if you have nice hair, you're automatically light skinned or mixed or whatever, and they normally associate dark skinned women with like the 4C hair or whatever, the really kinky nappy or whatever, which is completely untrue. Like I said, I'm light skinned and my hair is on the kinky nappy side, but I'm fine with it. I think it's cute. But anyways, sorry, I'm on my natural journey right now, but you know what I'm saying? Either way, you know the connotation behind it, so don't act dumb with it. Now,
well, he definitely chose his words wisely, because he didn't say like with the good hair, because I think he already knew what that would have resulted in. If he had said the black bitches with the good hair, it would have been a real problem.
So the fact that you knew, so you deliberately changed it from good hair to nice hair, then that means you know. Well,
I would almost argue that was saying that he really did want to avoid that problem, like because he wasn't saying good hair. She's just saying
but look
nice
what
hair.
happened. But look what happened afterward when he tried to defend himself. What he was making videos like, and that Negro got to be on drugs.
Well, I was just about to say now on this one.
Allegedly.
Consider the source. We are talking about Chris Brown. Yeah,
but
so
you start attacking people, talking about everybody that's complaining must be ugly or whatever. That's not. Why do we always result to that? Because you're just a hater, you're just automatically ugly and broke and all that stuff. No, if we're genuinely offended, if you could have just isolated half of your fan base or over half of your fan base, why not just come back and be like, guys, I genuinely did not mean it like that. It is truly with the nice hair. That's why I worded it that way, so it wouldn't seem that. But I love all women, because now we're looking at the type of women that you've dated in the past. Chris Brown has not been with a dark-skinned woman.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, well, Chris, you just probably need to just pull his resume. Like, when you look at who he has dealt with in the past, what does anybody really expect here? I mean,
and his mama don't help. She said, headline news, hair, seriously? Now what has this world come to? Just another distraction. Don't feed into the BS. Hair, are we serious? Come on, my people, it's all love over here. I don't comment much on stuff, but this was just ridiculous to me. Keep shining, my king. I can't take what your mother says seriously, because you disrespect, I don't know about now, but you have in the past disrespected your mother, and then she doesn't come from a really good background either, so it's like I can't really, you know what I'm saying? Well, and I screenshot something else. He said, someone said, so is this considered a preference or discrimination? Listen, we all have preferences. I'll give you that. Never will I discriminate against my own kind. Hashtag Chris Brown. And then Chris Brown responded, weird ass angry people. Sincerely from the bottom of my balls. I don't give a fuck about y'all negative booty face ass bitches. I'm start giving away free lace fronts for all you weird females with the skid row edges and low self-esteem. Aside from that, hop off these nuts. Half of y'all look like the Budweiser frogs, so please don't come with the bullshit. I will fire that ass up and roast the hell out you overly sensitive duckhead ass weirdos. Why?
Well, that was because
Chris Brown have responded.
Chris Brown is immature. All right, I mean, he's shown that time and time again that he'll throw a bitch fit in when things don't go his way. So I mean, clearly, like I said, he's not the most mature person probably even be having this conversation about. On the other hand, I do look at it, and if you genuinely didn't mean anything by it, you may not feel like you should have to defend it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get what you're saying, that when it comes to his fan base and all that, like why fan the flames? Well, on the one hand, any publicity is good publicity. So it is a new album. So if people are talking about the album,
he still topped.
Yeah, because I can promise you,
it went to number one, but it's in the Billboard.
Yeah, the only reason I even went to that album and listened to that song was because of the controversy it stirred. Otherwise, I mean, I hadn't really cared about Chris Brown's music for some time now.
Same.
But I did go to that album and I did find that song. Song actually was pretty good, just the beat and everything. And I listened to it for, trying to hear this line and hear the context. Like I said, on the one hand, you fan the flames because people are paying attention. On the other hand, though, he may have felt like, really, why should I have to defend this? Because I know what I meant. I know what I said. And if y'all all you can control is what you say. You can't control how somebody's going to take it. So maybe he didn't feel like he should have to.
I mean, and that's true because I don't recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, people, because this just popped in my head. I can't remember which song it was, but didn't Lil Wayne say, I like a young, red, thick, red bone, or whatever he said? Young, long-haired, thick, red bone?
Yeah.
And something about some filet mignon? I can't think of, I'm not a rapper, so I can't think of it.
That was Every Girl. That was his verse in Every Girl with Young Money.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, I don't know. Because when I read the lyrics, it says, I'll leave a paper trail, then I'm going to need a tip drill. Now, if y'all know, back in the day, BET Uncut, y'all know about the tip drill.
Right.
Okay, I'll leave a paper trail, then I'm going to need a tip drill.
That was always the funniest damn show to me because BET they went straight from tip drill to like what was it, Up From the World, or like some Christian like.
Yes.
It was like, how you gonna go from booty cheeks to the Bible? How you? I mean, I'm talking about with no buffer. I'm talking about like
no commercial.
Yeah,
nothing.
it went straight from like ludicrous,
straight
head
to Bobby
down,
Jones gospel,
and it went straight from that into, are you ready for Jehovah's return? Like, damn.
Yeah, right after y'all swipe that credit card down her ass.
Right.
But yeah, so the lyrics, I'll leave a paper trail, then I'm gonna need a tip drill. Shaking it, turn the lights down, bust it for the light bill. Digging it, then I'm licking all on that poo-hoo, that meow. Put it right there. Only wanna fuck the black bitches with the nice hair. So I'm like, I understand the outrage with the nice hair thing, but black bitches?
That was the part that got me.
Why are we not talking?
Yeah.
About we're not offended by that?
Yeah, nobody was upset that they were called black bitches. It's just, don't talk about my hair. And that was the part that got me the most. Like, I was just blown. Well, I ain't gonna say I was blown away because I'm just not. I mean, the standards of respect that are left in this world are almost non-existent.
When I think back on when rappers, especially like I don't really listen to rap that much now, but back in like the early 2000s and stuff, I can see like a Fabulous or maybe like especially Diddy or whatever, when they would make a song and say it has something to do with a Hispanic chick, I never heard like Latin bitches. I would hear something like chicas or whatever. You would reflect on their culture or whatever, but why we gotta be black bitches? We couldn't be black chicks with the nice hair at least? Like, it kind of rhymes, chicks, bitch. I mean, you can easily replace that. So that's why I'm like, why are we not upset about that? I don't know.
I think that lends itself to all the reasons why. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of this, I look at it and I don't understand it, and I feel like more of it is more beauty standards that we've become accustomed to, or that the beauty standards that are pushed upon the world more so than how we genuinely feel about ourselves. I know for me, I know some men that are just like, they only gonna date light-skinned women, or they only gonna date a white woman or something, of that nature. And even with those guys, I'm like, hey man, if that's your bag, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I've always been kind of a weird guy. I don't just subscribe to, I guess, what you would call standards of beauty or whatever. I care more about what the hell you bring into the table. Like, do you bore me? Can you have a conversation? Yeah. And like the things that I notice about a woman aren't things that most men are going to pay attention to first. So it doesn't really matter to me. I've dated dark skin, light skin, white. It really does not matter to me. It's really, did you pique my interest in some way? I got a homeboy that he love him a dark skinned woman. Like, the blacker the better. You know what I'm saying? And that's his thing. I don't knock it, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't exclusively date only dark-skinned women. You know what I'm saying? There's been all different colors in that spectrum. And so I guess that's why I feel like more of this is, I genuinely think it's a preference. And I don't know if it's anything wrong with having a preference. Even if your preference comes from the reference of some, you know, racial inequality and all those things, does that change who you like or what attracts you? Because you take that, I just look at it, you take that same person that prefers a light-skinned woman. Are you now supposed to force yourself to like a dark-skinned woman?
No, I mean, you like who you like, but the thing is, don't put anyone else down just because of what you like. Like I said, I love dark-skinned men, but if a light-skinned dude or white dude or Indian dude or whatever, if I find them attractive and they come up to me, I don't care. We can date if we have that. I've dated the damn rainbow. That don't mean anything to me, but I love how a dark-skinned man looks. And then they kind of usually do that, like light-skinned people or light-skinned women kind of like dark-skinned men, and, you know, vice versa or whatever.
Like the opposite of what they are.
Yeah, I know growing up, I've always wanted to be darker complected. Both my parents were brown skinned. Me and my younger sisters, we're all light skinned. However, I'm the lightest. Like, I'm more pale. They're more like, I guess, like a red bone, and I'm a yellow bone. And then my youngest brother, he's dark skinned. He's probably about your complexion, if I'm remembering your complexion. But yeah, so I remember I used to take my mother's foundation and like put it on my legs if I had shorts and stuff or whatever, because, you know, the top half of you is going to get a little bit more tan because you got that more out or whatever. I would put on my legs since I was still pale and stuff. Like, I've always wanted to be dark skinned. I hated being light skinned. Even, and this is the honest to God's truth, and this is so dumb, y'all probably gonna laugh at me. Up until about a year ago, I kept calling myself dark skinned, and everybody's like, Mel, you're not fucking dark skinned, you're light skinned. And so I'm just like, no, I'm dark skinned, because I see myself darker for some reason. It's a weird thing. It's a mental thing. I mean, I know I'm not dark skinned. I don't know, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I'm a fucking weirdo.
Well, I mean,
but it's like I don't know. I just wish that I was dark. I don't like, and again, this sounds weird, I don't like, because I'm light skinned, being put on a pedestal. I've never liked that. I don't like being a trophy, especially at the expense of other people, because I've seen so many beautiful dark skinned women, and I've seen mixed chicks who look so damn basic, or light skinned chicks who look so basic. So I'm like, because I know on the Shade Room they posted I think they called her like Immigration Officer Bay or something like that. Like, she was down there in the immigration camps, and oh my gosh, she's so fine. And I'm like, this chick look basic as fuck. So what the hell are y'all talking about just because she's light skinned?
And I think that's like, where I'm going with this. So it's like, when you look at these, I think this conversation has more to do with beauty standards than it does colorism. I think it's what's socially acceptable. Because I think back on growing up, okay, I was one of those guys, I've never been just muscular or anything like that. I'm just a big guy. You know what I'm saying? There was an era there, like the I'll Be Sure years. You know what I'm saying? Like the early 90s and shit, where if you didn't have like light skin and the little curl in the front of your hair, you wasn't cute. You know what I'm saying? So as a boy, I wasn't cute. Then like gangster rap came in, and like Biggie made it cool to be black and fat. You know what I'm saying? As long as you could hold a conversation. And so then I like to call like my life, it's almost like the post Rick Ross renaissance. You know what I'm saying? Because like when Rick Ross came into the scene, it was like he was fat, he was tattooed, he had this beard, and it was like all you got to be now is black and have a beard, and women like this shit. All of a sudden, now being overweight, dark skinned, if you can grow a beard, you in there. And you think I'm joking, but I'm dead ass serious. The reason is because that look became popular. Same thing with dreads and stuff like that. There once was a time where if you had dreadlocks, you was, you know, hell, Rastafarian pretty much. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a common thing. And now it's like,
'cause I used to hate locks, and now I love them. I'm trying to make an appointment in a couple of weeks to get some more.
There you go. But it's because it became socially acceptable, it became popular, and that's what people like. And now when you look at this whole wave, there once was a time coming out of like the 70s and the 80s where the whole like, what was it, Farrah Fawcett, like that whole look, the blondes, the big boobs, that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? So then you fast forward, And you roll into this now, the Kim Kardashian era, where everybody is kind of racially ambiguous. You don't know what they are.
Yeah.
They're just a color of beige. They have this straight hair and they got a big ass, and you don't really know, you don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
And so now it just seems like you said, with like Chris Brown, he clearly has a type. His type is some kind of Hispanic Asian blend. He wants something in that color category with straight and or curly hair. That's what he's looking for. That's what every woman he's been with has looked like,
with the exception of Rihanna.
And
but I think she's mixed too, though. I think But you see what I'm saying? It's like, it seems like to me this whole thing now has more to do with whatever the world is telling you is popular, whatever the world is telling you is beautiful. You want to be that. Me and my wife have this like running joke. We watch like a lot of We TV, watching like Law and Order and shit. It's crazy how you get old and just start watching all the shit your parents used to watch. Right? Like, I want to watch Gunsmoke now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah. No idea why that show would be interesting to me now. Because, like,
in you, man.
yeah, I found myself wanting to watch The Heat of the Night the other day. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Like, why?
Wow.
But, anyway.
Wow.
So every morning there's a new infomercial on. And in all these infomercials, it's telling women where something is fucked up on them. It's like, one morning your hair is too thin, you need this. The next morning, you got crepey skin, you need this. The next morning, you got laugh lines and crow's feet. You need this. The next morning, you're looking a little fat. You need this. We can get rid of them love handles. All you need is this lotion and this damn body sculpting thing, and we'll take care of that for you. You know what I'm saying? And that is the case every fucking morning on this channel. There is something else wrong with a woman, and men, we just don't have these problems. Like it seems like no matter what version of a man you are socially accepted. It does not matter. You can be fat. I mean, it's kind of like Jay-Z when he was like, ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute. He know he looked like Joe Camel. He know this.
Did you see that picture that they had when Beyonce was by Nyla, and then they underneath her they had him and
I did see that.
Camel.
That was savage. The internet is undefeated. Yeah.
Who did this? Y'all need to stop.
But yes, he knows he looks like Joe Camel, but he also knows he married Beyonce. So regardless of how you feel about his looks, he still married what is probably considered one of the baddest women on the planet at this point.
But even Beyonce has to go through all that.
Exactly.
She even did that in the Pretty Hurts video.
Exactly. Beyonce is still gone over with a fine-tooth comb. Even though she is Beyonce, she still has to look a certain way. Jay-Z could pick up 50 pounds by the end of this year. It's going to be a couple of jokes about it. There may be a meme or two about it. But ain't nobody gonna have shit to say about it.
But yeah, as soon as Beyonce gets thick,
yeah, let her pick up 50 pounds. Let her have not dropped that baby weight. You know what I'm saying? Before she did the homecoming thing, let her have not been successful there and walked out on that stage 50 or 60 pounds heavier than the world was accustomed to seeing her.
Yeah, because she was like on homecoming that she can't keep doing that to her body.
Right.
All that dieting and all that stuff. So I don't know why women have to be held to a certain standard. I don't know who started these beauty trends.
That was my question for you, is like, where is it coming from? Like,
child, I don't know, because I've been a tomboy this whole time. I just started getting into the beauty world. Now I watch makeup tutorials and all that stuff. Like, there is a market for all that. Like, people who just do makeup tutorials on YouTube a few years ago are now making their own makeup brands and partnering up with Sephora and Ulta and all that stuff. So yeah, like it's a booming business. That's why I decided to go to cosmetology school, even though, you know, I like to write and all that stuff, and I actually have my degree in criminal justice. I'm not going to make much or be happy in it anyway. So I'm going to where the money is. That's where all these plastic surgeons and all this stuff.
But they're selling you something that's not attainable. Like when you look at the mass population, it was crazy. I was in a public setting the other day, and I was sitting in like a waiting room, and I remember this comedian, and it was like the comedian. He was like, "Have you ever been out and looked at people and just thought God be making anybody?"
What the? Okay.
He said it was kind of cold how he was saying it, but when I really did look around the room, it was like.
But I felt that though.
But it wasn't like just trying to say everybody is, you know, like these people are ugly, but there's just all these blends and mixes of what people look like. You know what I'm saying? There are so many variations just of the face alone, before you even get into body types, heights, builds, and all those things, to keep selling this one brand of beauty, this you have to look like this. If you don't have these things, you're not considered beautiful, is unrealistic. My wife, she'll tell me about different things that are popular out here, or different things that women are trying to change about themselves, and I just be like, who made this decision? Who told y'all? Because she'll ask me, do I care about something? And I'm like, hell no, I don't care about that. Like, that, I have never given that particular thing a thought a day in my life. One day she hit me up and she was like, you'll never believe the new thing. I think I told you about this. It was women with hip dips. And I'm like, what the fuck is a hip dip? And she was like, well, it's when your hip between your waist and your thigh.
When you put your I thought it was when you put your hands on your hip and you dip, I dip, we dip. That's not a hip dip. No.
But yeah, it's like if you got the little dimple on your side where your booty and your hip is at, that's a thing now. And so you got women that are getting surgery to get this corrected by fat transfers, or you can buy hip dip pads to cover the hip dip and smooth your curve out on the side.
Got too much dip on your chip.
Exactly. But I'm sitting there like, who in the fuck said? Because I can guarantee I guarantee you, no man said this. No man said you got hip dips, and I don't like that.
Oh yeah, and y'all really don't be tripping over stuff. Y'all don't care about stretch mark. Like I said, it's just because I used to be, insecure because I got the hip dips too. I'm like, why can't I just have hips and just be? I got everything but no damn hips. I don't get it. It's weird. But I used to, in relationships, be, like I said, a little insecure about this, that, and the third. The dude be like, I don't care about all that. I love you, And then I realized, it's the women that's judging each other. I noticed that from, like, my female cousins. Mm-hmm. Like, something as simple. I have dimples on my lower back. Now that's a prized, like, dang, like, ooh, that's sexy or whatever. But back then, I didn't know what the hell that was. I thought I was missing ligaments or something, you know what I'm saying? So my cousin was like, oh, what's wrong with your back? And I'm like, I don't know. I've had these all my life. And she thought that was weird because nobody really has it. It's very rare to have that. My whole family has it, though. Intermediate family, immediate family, excuse me. So now that I've gotten older and I realize that it's actually like a sexy thing or whatever, and I just grew to love them any damn way. Yeah, I realized, it's women that's doing this to each other. And then I think it's a mental health thing too, because like I said, in my head, for whatever reason, I thought I was dark skinned and I had to face the fact that I was actually light skinned. That was a hard pill to swallow. I had to look at the man in the mirror and I said, Mel, you're light skinned. You're light. Like, that's why they call me mellow yellow.
So I guess how do we correct it then? Because I look at this and I'm just like, because I think it is seriously becoming a mental health issue. Because people can't seem to love themselves for trying to be what they think will be loved. Because that was deep. I kind of like that. I may need to.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice off the top of my head right there. But it seems like there's just this focus on what they think is going to be accepted instead of trying to figure out how to accept themselves. I have this conversation with my daughter, my oldest. She's 9. I try to tell her, look, don't ever, first of all, don't ever be afraid to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, be who you are, and the best thing that you can do is to learn to love who you are first, and then the rest of it will come. And when I was talking to her, she was just like, well, but kids are just can be mean or whatever. I'm like, baby, look. I was like, look at your dad. I'm like, I'm big, I'm black. I weigh like 400 pounds. Like, I got man boob. Like, you don't know the struggle. Boobs. You don't know the struggle till you've had man boobs.
You've literally been that height since we were in 2nd grade.
I know. I've been. So. I think I hit 6 foot in like the 7th grade though. I think I was like 6'1" in the 7th grade. Yeah, which was crazy. But I've always had, like you said, I've always been built like an offensive lineman my whole fucking life. So it was one of those things where I figured out very early that I wasn't going to get girls on looks. And I never have. I have always attracted the women that I've attracted with my personality.
It's all right.
That's how it works though. Because for the most part, typically I can hold a conversation. And once I learned that if you make girls laugh, they like you, that was it.
Yes.
That was it. It was like,
Yes,
oh, I can be charming. and
that is definitely a key for me. There's been plenty of traditionally not good looking guys I've met, but made me laugh, and it completely changed how I saw them. I was like, I think I have a little crush on you. Like, okay,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, so definitely that's definitely key. I think Marilyn Monroe said if you can make a girl laugh, you can get her, basically.
Yeah, and so like when I figured that out, that's when the whole game changed for me. And then, like I said, with the post Rick Ross Renaissance coming in there, that just took me up another notch, because now it was like, okay, now I just need to learn how to grunt. Just once I get that, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So,
see, I just felt the world shift on its axis a little bit from the herds of women coming from the other hemisphere, because you just did the grunt.
There you go, man. There you go.
I'm gonna need you to.
But I'm taking, ladies.
Bit.
I'm sorry. I am taking.
Yeah, I'm saying you need to lay off on that. Okay, it's shifting back.
Yeah, there's only one lady I grunt for. Only one.
That's right. Nicole Murphy, keep your ass up.
Man, they are dragging her ass right now. They really are.
Oh God, I really liked her too.
So,
but anywho,
so are we coming to a consensus? Do we think that I think this is one of those instances where two things are true. I think that colorism is very much a real thing, but I think we're dealing right now with the byproduct of colorism, but it's not really I don't want to say it's not a problem, because if you ever use color or something like that to pass judgment on someone, then obviously you're wrong. But I think that some of those things that were based on the reference of racism has now just kind of grown into a preference. And I think that the beauty industry has only made the situation worse.
And it's capitalizing.
Yeah, it's capitalizing off that divisive nature of people to just find the differences in one another. And beauty is so subjective.
Yeah, it is.
I remember when I met my wife, the thing that drew me into her had nothing to do with like skin tone and all that. I said before, I'm kind of a weird guy, but when she spoke to me, she had beautiful teeth. Like, they were like really white and like they're like perfectly straight. And the first thing I thought, I was like, damn, like how long do you have to wear braces? Your teeth are beautiful.
Who is your dentist?
Yeah, like who is your dentist? And then I'm like, she got pretty.
What is your dental plan?
Yeah, it's like she got pretty lips too, and then her eyebrows were very well arched, and that was the thing that did it for me. I was like, okay, because I'm looking at it like your lips ain't crusty, your eyebrows are good, you care about things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
you maintain.
Yeah, like you care about maintenance. It's not just all about this is what this. Hey, look at me. It's the little things. You know what I'm saying? So me being that type of guy. Now, with that being said, I do know some men that if your hair ain't laid or if your outfit ain't just perfect or those kind of things, they're not even gonna talk to you. And when I look at those people, I say, well, why do you want that person in your life anyway? You know what I'm saying? If you are with a person that you have to basically be in full fucking costume for every day of the week for them to be happy with being with you, then that may not be the person you need. I need you to love me at my worst.
Okay.
I need you to love me when I need a haircut.
Do you know how much makeup costs, sir?
My wife has asked me a few times about makeup, and I think she'd be thinking I'd be telling her this just to like make her feel good, but it's like she's not a woman that needs makeup, in my opinion. It's a lot of, and I'm glad I'm one of those people who don't. Yeah, if you don't need it, then why pick up a burden that's unnecessary? You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't want to like hug you and be getting like foundation and shit all over my clothes and all that. Like if you don't need that shit,
if you apply it right and everything, like I still like makeup. I don't need it, so I don't wear it all the time. Yeah. But yeah, but I think you said something earlier about speaking to your daughter. I think that's one of the ways that we can help break that cycle for future generations is to have a talk with our offspring, because that's where it's all starting in school and all that stuff, and then you grow up. I mean, hell, when we were younger, who did we call dark-skinned people, like African booty scratchers and shit?
That was a thing, yeah.
That was a thing, people. So, it all starts at home, really. And if you teach your children about beauty, that beauty is cliche, but beauty is...
It's on the skin deep.
What's on the inside. Yeah, and it's on the inside. And, you shine through. If you're just a great person, that glow automatically comes out. Hell yeah, you won't need the damn makeup and all that stuff. I want to kind of leave off my point. I saw, just what happened today, well, actually two things. Beyonce just released the Lion King, The Gift, the little soundtrack or whatever, which is amazing, guys. And I'm not even a Beyonce fan like that, but it's really good. There's a track on there called Brown Skin Girls, featuring different artists, and even Blue Ivy herself. She's singing a little bit in there, and it made me tear up because I'm like, this is such a beautiful song, and we're finally slowly but surely acknowledging our darker complected sisters, because I'd be lying if I said I didn't have light skin privilege. So once you acknowledge that, you know what I'm saying, and try to aid in other and show the beauty of, because we're a beautiful people, the different shades, we have so many different shades, so many different types of melanin, we're just we're it. And I think that's why we have been divided, but until we know that, we won't grow from that. But a second thing, I did see actress Niecy Nash. She made a post today, and it was, she had just bought this bathing suit, and I want to read her caption. So she says, "I apologize to myself. I bought a new swimsuit and tried it on, then proceeded to drag myself, pointing out every flaw, every bump, lump, scar, ripple, and stretch mark. Then I heard my sister's voice in my head say, watch what you say about my sister. Then I remembered that my body will hear everything my mind thinks about it. Then I thought about my dear sister friend and how she celebrates her chocolatey thickness. She's so fine. Then I changed my conversation with myself. These hips caught 2 husbands and a few boos. My thighs touch, but I gained weight having good food with great people. I see my C-section scar peeking out. Thank you, Kat Von D, for putting a tattoo over it. But it's a reminder that I brought 3 beautiful children into the world. I allowed my stretch marks to whisper, you are a grown-ass woman who has survived a few things and stretched in ways you never thought you could. My mom always said they don't teach kind in school. You gotta learn that on your own. Loving your body can be a roller coaster ride, especially without a filter. But with all that said, I propose, to be kinder to myself today than I was yesterday. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to keep it going. I love you, Niecy. I'm my own #WCW, #repost as a reminder, #BrownSkin Girls." You just got to start loving yourself.
That's it.
Basically, if no one else will.
Yeah.
And maybe people will start latching on and like, hey, and maybe we can stop this trend of looking like fucking Kim Kardashian. Like, you guys look weird. You guys look like weirdos. You're plastic, and why does everybody need to look the same? I don't know. I've never subscribed to that.
I think
I don't want to look like everybody else. Like,
I think the reason it hits our community the way it does, or as heavily as it does, is the fact that, and this would go off into a whole nother topic, so we won't just go deep into it, but I think it's because we are so separated from what our culture actually is. You know what I mean? Black people in this country are truly the only group of people that are here that we're the byproduct of real American culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the ugly truth of American culture. Everybody else came from somewhere else. Everybody else can trace their lineage or their background back to Ellis Island or some country or whatever the case may be. But we were brought here and completely cut off from
our different tribes.
Yeah, I mean, you and I mean, our last names aren't even our real fucking last names. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you just really get down to the bare bones of it. So I think the reason why our culture here is so susceptible to these types of things is because it doesn't have any roots, and we don't know what those roots are. But I think like what you said, what Niecy said, there is the proper attitude to take towards turning this whole thing around and understanding that your beauty isn't dictated by what everyone else thinks. The first person that has to love you is you, and after that, you'll find that the rest. I'm not going to say you're not going to run into assholes along the way, but like you said, this behavior of this divisiveness, it's taught at home. I remember, and this was a few years back when my oldest was a baby. She was maybe 2, 3, whenever kids start talking, when they start talking.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Well, when they can actually like say more than just mama and dad.
Have somewhat of a conversation. Yeah.
We were walking through Walmart, and it was me and my daughter, and it was this other white guy and his daughter. And so as we're walking, my kid locks eyes with his kid, and they're kind of looking at each other. other and they're waving at each other, you know, hi, hi. And as we walk by, I hear his daughter ask him, she's like, Daddy, are those chocolate people? I kind of choked up a little bit because it was like the innocence of a kid.
Yeah.
You know, she has no idea what race is. She doesn't know what a nigga is. She doesn't know any of these things. The only thing she knew to equate my darker skin and my child's darker skin was chocolate. That was it. And I was like, the reason this world is fucked up is because people teach their kids and raise people in fucked up environments and give them bad information. That's why we are where we are. And this whole colorism thing and these beauty standards, I think it all falls in that same bucket of just bullshit we shouldn't be concerned with. I guess now we got to do sick of this shit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do sick of this shit. And in today's episode or today's segment of sick of this shit, we are sick of spam callers and spam phone calls in general. Sick of this shit.
Look, stop calling me from 11 different numbers because none of them's getting picked up. I have no problem blocking every single one of them. Stop calling me from California and Georgia. I don't know anybody there, so that's automatically gonna get shut down. Sick of this shit.
Oh man, it's the worst. Like when you, especially like if you're expecting a call or something, it's like, cause I'm real funky about answering my phone to numbers I don't know anyway. So it's like I've already stepped outside of my comfort zone if I'm answering this motherfucker and it ain't got a name on it.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, hello, and it's like that pause, and then it's like, don't hang up. We've been trying to reach you about your car warranty. Get the fuck off my phone.
Or I got one where it actually was a bill collector I needed to talk to, but that wasn't my problem. The money is there. If you're listening, the money has been there. So that's not my problem that you didn't take it out. Anyways, so they call me and I go ahead and pick up because I'm like, let me go ahead and see why they haven't taken this money out. But it's an automated system saying, call us back at 1-800. And I'm like, you called me and had an automated robot
to
tell me to call you back. What? No click. So I guess you don't want this damn money. Like,
hey, I've always said that. Like,
shit?
Look, if you want me to give you money, you need to make that shit easy as possible. Don't have me jumping through hoops to give away money. Like, shit. Like, if it's paying a bill, it needs to be one click bill paid. Like, don't have me jumping through a bunch of hoops to give you my money, because that's just gonna put more time between me giving it to you. That's how that shit gonna work. Oh, and the other one that gets on my fucking nerves is like the ones that like spoof your phone number to call somebody else. Like, I almost got into it with somebody. They called me and they was like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Bitch, you called me. Who is this?" Like, don't be calling my goddamn phone talking about who is this. Shit, you know, it's like, well, I got a phone call from this number. Well, I didn't call you. Shit. And then like I realized what it was, but she had already started the conversation off on a bad foot. And then when I got ready to explain it, like, hey, it was probably one of them. And then she hung up on me. I started to call her back just on GP.
Wars.
Yeah, because she had pissed me off at that point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of these robocallings.
I'm literally playing this in my head. Y'all calling each other back. And another thing. But you know what I'm sick of? Going to the damn grocery store and I'm walking down the aisles and there's like, I never just go down the aisle. I'm walking past it and there's like a couple of people in each aisle and I decide, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance and go down this aisle and there's 15 people in the damn aisle. And I'm just like, oh my God, now I gotta back up my cart and go back to the original aisles that I had just passed. Like, I don't know why. Am I the only one that happens to? Like, I don't.
That's why I don't go to the grocery store. Like, the few times that I have gone to the grocery store with my wife, we get in there, and I don't like people. I don't like people because I'm big, and like people like feel like they can just talk to me because I'm tall. They be like, "Oh, how's there up there? Oh my God, how tall are you?" And then whenever I go to the grocery store, it's guaranteed I'm gonna have to get something off top shelf for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just try to avoid public interaction altogether. But yeah, people be shopping and they just act like it's just them on the aisle. Like, pull your basket to the side and go up there and look for what you looking for. But don't act. But they'll just leave their shit like in the middle of the damn aisle. You gotta. And it's like, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I leave mine in the middle of the aisle, but I'm going directly to what I need. I grab it and I go back and I move about my business.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all go there and stand there. Which one do I want? Like, just go.
Nah.
Just go.
Yeah, I decided I'm just not built for grocery stores altogether.
And another thing,
I apologize,
Stop
y'all, if
using all
y'all
these
hear this, but I think my neighbor's cutting his lawn, so yeah.
I always.
He ain't did shit all day, but he want to cut his yard while I'm doing the podcast.
You know what? That's another sick of this
how
shit.
this shit go.
Don't nobody do anything until you're about to do something important.
Exactly. I got some shit to do. I need some goddamn quiet. Now you want to mow your yard, goddamn it.
Well, I was just gonna say how I always end up in the line when I'm in a hurry. I always end up in a line with like people who have coupons and shit and comparing prices, and I'm like, oh my god, like why? I gotta use the bathroom or I have somewhere to be. Like, why does this constantly happen to me? I don't get it. But
it sounds like you need to like just stay out of grocery stores or like do the shop online and just pick it up.
I'm gonna have to because this is ridiculous. Because I have another shenanigan at the damn grocery store, which we'll probably talk about later. There's this guy so I go to this particular Kroger's that I have to now not go to anymore because there's this particular guy who I briefly dated for like a month or two or whatever, and he'll go in there and he keeps approaching me with the same pickup lines as if I'm a completely different person. That's a story for another time.
Well, like I said, I'm just not built for grocery stores, honestly. If I'm in there, it's a problem. Like it's a serious situation if I'm in a grocery store at all. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would advise shopping online so you can avoid people because that's the way I live my life.
Or get married and have someone who likes to go to the grocery store.
My wife, she don't like to go, but she goes though. Yeah, every once in a while I go with her, but yeah, it ain't that she likes to go, but she does know that. Between the two of us, I hate to go. Like, it's a real thing. Like, I can't stand it. I just, because people just, they be in my way. I'm one of them people that go in, and I got one thing to get. I'm going straight to that and straight back out. I'm not looking at shit. I'm not eye-buying. I don't want to talk to nobody. And I walk around with that look on my face like, don't fucking talk to me. Don't interact with me.
I do too, but people talk to me.
Still
and
talk
that just
to
brings
me.
me to,
yeah.
And and that's another, I'm sick of this shit. Don't talk to me if I have headphones in and I'm trying to buy something. I deliberately put headphones in. I don't even gotta be. Sometimes I have to fake like I'm talking to somebody, or I'll call my sister if I know she's not busy, or I'm listening to music. But just stop. What do you want? What? And it's always some stupid shit. Leave me alone. One dude asked me, did I know where some razors were or something like that? I think it was razors. We'll just say it's razors for the sake of the conversation. And I'm like, I don't know. And then he kind of just stood there and just, I guess, didn't know what the hell to do with himself. And then was like, okay, and then walked off. And then I just so happened to look after he walked off that he walked right by the damn razors. I'm like, you know what?
You gotta turn on your crazy in them moments. Be like, when I find them, I'm gonna cut your ass.
Why do people approach? I don't like interrupting people even when they're talking. So I don't know why people approach me, especially with headphones in. Like,
it was probably the biggest adjustment that I had to make was accepting the fact that people are just going to talk to me. And it's because, I mean, how often do you get to see people that are 6'7"? So
I'm not 6'7".
Well, you're a woman, so
you're a freak of nature.
People are just going to talk to you just cause. I mean, that's.
But I have a mad look on my face. Oh, and another thing I'm sick of. Men don't give a
damn if you mad. That's the thing. Like, women, y'all don't be understanding. Like, if you walking around looking like you've been eating sour grapes, then a nigga just be like, hey, you be cute if you smile. That's just.
Yeah, no, I don't get the you'll be cute if you're smiling. Like, smile, it's not that bad. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking to me. You don't know what I've been through that day. Or my face I just have resting bitch face. Like, I'm probably just looking like that. Like, nothing. Or I'm concentrating. Like, if I was cookies, where would I be? You know, like, you don't know what's going on in my head. Leave me alone. Shut up. Leave me alone. Okay, sorry, I took over I'm sick of this shit.
You did. You're good at this. You're good at this.
I had to get that off my chest. Sorry, it's my light skin kicking in. Sorry.
Well, this has been another episode of the Project Commentary Podcast, and you guys know where to find me. I'm on Instagram at Project Commentary, Twitter at Talk to Project C, and then Gmail, talktoprojectc@gmail.com. Whatever platform you're listening on, please take the time to go ahead and like it. subscribe, share, leave a review. That's the only way we know. The only way I'm going to know what you like and if we're doing a good job. Mel, you want to tell the people where you're at?
Melody Monroe, and that's Monroe with a U. Melody Monroe XO.
All right. And until next time, y'all take care of yourself. Peace.
Bye, guys.